Does the panel think Keir Starmer can make Britain great again?
That's a hilarious question. Can Keir Starmer make Britain great again? OK, so this is after the Labour leader addressed party activists saying SNP and the Tories are stuck on pause and only Labour will create a Britain that Scottish people are not only part of, but proud of. Nick, have you got any thoughts on that?
If you can pull that off, that would be a miracle. I mean, yeah, I've got thoughts. I mean, this is about, you know, Scottish independence and so on. And, well, for a start, I'm Northern, so I haven't even recognised the South as part of my country yet. But he made the point that we're fighting the same referendum over and over again, and that's the problem both with Scotland and with, obviously, Brexit. No one seems to accept the result of a referendum, which does make things a bit tiresome.
Yes.
So, yeah, I respect... If Scotland want to leave, I totally respect that. The problem is they voted to leave and it hasn't
yes, but
done
Nick,
anything.
that was a once-in-a-lifetime
they voted to
referendum.
stay, sorry.
The once-in-a-lifetime referendum, which they're going to have again next year.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, that's... I mean, this is... Do you think Keir Starmer's the man? You're a Labour supporter, right, Scott?
Yeah, it's all we have left. I mean, I don't want Scotland to leave. I would really miss them on the map, and I love all that oil which they had until they deep fried everything. But I think the union itself is in danger of, well, it is devolving anyway. I mean, the Welsh are devolving. I mean, choice or no choice, we all know they have been for a long time, and I feel like, as an American, you know, the U.S. is too large, and I would love it to break up. I think it'd be easier to govern. And maybe Scotland should go on their own. I mean, they can't afford it if the EU doesn't want them. They're too poor. But maybe at some point, if they all get a job and pay their taxes, at some point, maybe Brussels will say yes, and then they can just leave.
It would be interesting if you did devolve the American... I mean, because you look at the maps of the way people vote, and everyone on the coastlines...
Where people read. They vote appropriately. It's the people inland that vote, you know, maybe they're dehydrated and they vote for the most racist candidate they can get their claws on. I really love Britain. I think it's less savage in every way, especially the way people deal with one another. And I think the only way to really deal with this is to have another referendum, as ridiculous as it is.
Yes,
you know?
but I'm just not convinced of Starmer. I mean, I just don't think Starmer, who was one of the sort of major architects of the second referendum policy that completely lost Labour any chance of getting anywhere. I just don't see how he's the one to rebuild the red wall.
He's got the charm of a refrigerator. He I mean, I don't like Boris Johnson. I mean, I like his initials, but I'm not a big fan of his. And I don't know who to like, except that I admire Boris Johnson because he always looks like he knows what he's doing. You know, he does in a way, and he goes jogging at 5 a.m. in tiny shorts.
But Nick, I mean, people think of you as on the right-ish, or would you vote Tory? Would you?
Do you know, I don't even vote Tory. People think of me on the... Obviously, I just vote for the very far-right parties that are much niche... I'm joking, guys. I vote Christian. The point is, I haven't voted Tory, but the reason I like Boris, is the wrong word, but simply because he got us out of the restrictions, even if he was only because he was afraid of his backbench. So that's why I backed... Well, I don't exactly back Boris, but I prefer Boris, because with Starmer, we would be locked away forever in his weird lockdown...
Well, people forget that about Labour, is that when they were sort of criticising the Tories about all this, they had wanted even more restrictions. Yeah. You know, so I mean...
Their only ever criticism was, why don't you do more lockdown harder? Exactly. So, yes, I don't want Starmer...
Well, you could vote Green. Brighton's a nice town. You could.
It is nice.
Although I thought about voting Green now anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, if you vote Green, just rip up your ballot and flush it down the toilet. It's the same thing.
Well, let's not upset all the Green voters out there, because they're both watching, I think.